If you believe researchers, 86% of the planet's species have not yet been discovered. That is a lot of plants and animals no one has seen. Nature has been playing an awesome game of hide and seek with us, so why are things like Sasquatch, the Chupacabra, the Dingo Neck, Jackalope, Drop Bear, and various sea monsters considered the things of folklore, intoxication, or an overactive imagination? Just because nobody has seen these yet doesn't mean they don't exist. This year alone, scientists have discovered the ninja lantern shark, the psychedelic sea slug, the hawkbill sea turtle, the pig-nosed vampire rat, the shape-shifting frog, and other remarkable species that have been remained hidden from the beginning of time. If sharks and sea turtles exist that can provide their own nightlight, why do we discount reports of drop bears? Especially when the number of drop bear attacks climb every year. Fantastic creatures do indeed exist, and over time we find more and more of them. For an example, until the early 1900s, the Komodo dragon, the mountain gorilla, and the okapi were considered fairy stories. Today, we hope to come one step closer in bridging that gap, separating myth from reality. We are here at the Windenburg coastline where, for over 200 years, there have been reports from fishermen, boaters, and children of something very similar to the Loch Ness Monster. If all goes well, we will get the very first footage of this Windenburg sea monster on camera. I'm Chaos Davies. Let me take you on an urban safari.
Who wants to go first and read their history report?
I volunteer.
Very well.
Back in the day.
Are you really starting your report with the phrase, back in the day?
I am. See, the history of Windenburg is one part history and one part legend. It seemed appropriate. Can I continue?
Go ahead.
She would never let us get away with that.
Quiet.
As I was saying, back in the day, there was no New Crest, only Windenburg. There was only a small fishing town on the Strait of Windenburg. The town turned into what is known today as Windenburg.
Mayor Bradford, something has to be done about that sea monster. It's nearly impossible to fish.
Our livelihood depends on being able to fish.
We've been over this. I'm not going to entertain ideas of a sea monster. There's no such thing.
Then explain to me, why are there no fish?
Do I look like I know anything about fish? Because I don't. All I know how to do is run a town.
And you are running this poorly by not paying attention to this problem, and it is a problem.
Avery, there is no fish at the market today. All I was able to make was vegetable soup.
It's that blasted sea monster. It's eating all the fish, and the mayor refuses to address the situation, saying everyone is making up fairy stories.
Did I hear someone say fairy stories? Is there a princess involved?
No princesses, just sea monsters.
I like sea monsters too. The one that lives in the sea here is named Emily.
How do you know that?
I heard some people talking about it. The legends of the sea monster are why people moved here 2 generations ago. People hope to see it. They liked the area and stayed. So here we are.
Do any of those legends say anything about the sea monster eating all the fish?
No.
The real problem wasn't the sea monster. It was that Mayor Bradford appointed himself mayor, which is 10 times worse than being a sea monster, or having one. Anyway, he believed himself better than everyone else, and thought that he should be in charge. No one challenged his leadership for many years, until the fish started disappearing, left and right.
The sea monster is the guardian of these waters. You have angered the beast, and the fish will not return until you make amends.
Away with you! I will not listen to this.
Mark my words. You will regret this if you do nothing.
You heard her. What are you going to do about this?
I'm not going to do anything. Do you really believe the craziness she spouts?
Weeks went by, and the mayor continued to do absolutely but-suck nothing. The people couldn't just depend on the few crops of potatoes that they grew to feed their families, and they took matters into their own hands. No one knew what the mayor did to anger the sea monster, and they didn't care, honestly. It was decided that the best course of action was to sacrifice the mayor directly to the sea monster. I guess they thought he might be tasty or something. A mob formed with pitchforks and torches. They captured the mayor and threw him into the sea. That's where the sea monster was. The monster appeared, and it was reported that it smiled at the people. The mayor was never seen again, and within days the fish returned to the area, and Windenburg flourished and grew. At one point, it expanded into Newcrest, Willow Creek, and Oasis Landing. Despite the size that the town grew to, no new mayor was ever elected again for fear of the sea monster returning. It was complete anarchy. Anchovy. No, anarchy. Sorry, anarchy. Due to, postal regulations? Yeah. Due to postal regulations dealing with how much mail postal workers are allowed to carry, Newcrest, Willow Creek, and Oasis Landing became their own towns.
That was interesting.
Suddenly my report doesn't suck so much! Didn't Miss Chaos just do a show on that sea monster? She did! How come none of this information was in it?
I think Melanie made it all up. At least I read a book to do my report.
Quiet down. Thank you, Melanie. Who wants to go next?
What's wrong, Corey? You look like something is bothering you.
Hi, Miss Marsh. I was just thinking. This girl in my class, Melanie, gave a report today. It was total crap, but it got me thinking. Why don't we have a mayor?
I never thought about it.
Who runs everything? Is there even a city council?
You know, I don't think there is.
Then how are important decisions made around here?
I don't know. I'll tell you what, I'll investigate that and find out. You would make a good investigative reporter. You ask the right questions.
I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but I will keep that in mind.
Have you ever noticed there's no local government? We have no mayor, no city council, no nothing.
I never questioned it. We've all heard the legend about how the first mayor was fed to a sea monster and never replaced. I just assumed that was some warped version of the truth or an allegory for what really happened.
What could that possibly be an allegory for?
I don't know.
I see why your days as a field reporter are over. I know a 10-year-old girl who asks more pressing questions than you do. Anyway, I think that everyone deserves to have this brought to their attention. Lack of government could explain why this city has so many problems. What if the land grabs are behind this somehow? Wouldn't you want to know?
Fine. I'll make some calls and see what I can find out. No promises, though.
Thank you. We might be onto something.
So, what happens if this results in total anarchy?
Then we won't run out of news to report.
I just spent an hour and a half on the phone fielding questions about how the city handles law enforcement, why there is a vigilante superhero running loose, and who I answer to.
I'll take care of it.
How can you take care of it? Someone tipped off the state government that no one has been in charge here since sometime in the early 800s.
That's when the original mayor was thrown to the sea monster, wasn't it?
Oh my god. You don't believe that legend, do you?
All I'm saying is that every legend has some element of truth. It's how legends are started.
We have a good thing here, and if the state gets involved, it's going to be ruined.
I told you, I'll take care of it.
It has been brought to the attention of the state government that the New Crest-Weidenberg area, including Oasis Landing and Willow Creek, have no local government. In fact, there has not been a local government in place since 1823, when, according to local legend, the then mayor was sacrificed to appease a sea monster that had driven away all the fish in the surrounding waters. Questions are being raised on how such an oversight was made, and formal investigation into the matter has begun. In the meantime, anyone wishing to run for mayor is encouraged to contact the state elections and voting board.
I'd better add popcorn to the grocery list.
I'm going to do it!
Do what?
Run for mayor. I told you I'd take care of everything. Getting elected to office will solve everything.
And if you don't get elected?
No worries. I have a plan B in case that happens.
You better.
How hard can it be?
Bob, you could so be the mayor, and I could be married to the mayor. You should submit your name.
I have no desire to go into politics.
Think about it, though. You could make pancakes the official food of Newcrest. Pancakes for everyone.
I kind of like that idea.
I recognize that look. What are you thinking?
I am thinking that I'm going to go into politics.
You're kidding, right?
No, I'm not. Think about it. Our family has lived here for generations. If one of the oldest families doesn't care about the town, why should anyone else?
You don't know anything about running a town.
Neither does anyone else around here. I have as good as a shot as anyone. Maybe better. I at least have an idea what this town needs.
And just what does this town need?
Strong leadership. There are so many things that we don't have here that people take for granted. Like, did you know? The public library doesn't even have a children's section. The hospital has no pediatric ward.
Speaking of the hospital, are you still going through with that bachelor auction fundraiser?
You know, our local superhero has agreed to participate. I've managed to talk a few other local celebrities into it as well.
I'm impressed. How did you manage that?
That's my secret. Think about it, though. Someone that can accomplish that is the same kind of person that should be running this town. I would be in a position to really help people.
I'm not going to stop you. Not that I wouldn't have any hope of succeeding. You have your mind set on this, and once you have made up your mind, there is no stopping you. I will, as always, be by your side as your supportive, loving husband.
Did you catch the news earlier? Did you?
I never watch the news unless I'm on it.
Didn't that Marsh girl do some stories about lack of local government? Who knew?
There's going to be a local election to decide upon a mayor. You know what this means, right?
That there's going to be a party in need of a DJ?
No, you idiot!
It means things are going to be much more chaotic than normal in this town. and no one will notice what we are doing.
We need to take advantage of this. We also need to come up with a plan to sabotage the election. Having someone actually in charge of this town could really put a damper on our fun.
I assume you have a plan for that.
One of us should run for mayor. The idea is just so good. It could be like Storybrooke. You know? Have you been to the land of Once Upon a Time?
Who would you vote for? I wouldn't vote for us.
What if our latex-clad llama friend runs? People are sure to vote for him. Then we are all in trouble.
That would be awesome! I mean, that would be bad. Awesomely bad.
I have an idea.
If this is better than your idea of kidnapping the Spring Festival Bunny, I'm all ears.
It is. Trust me, it is.
like a